Hi guys, so I saw this story time of Erka's yesterday, and first of all, I just wanted to commend her for being brave enough to share her experience and to be able to bring it out on a public platform. Not all of us have the guts to share detail by detail what we went through in certain situations. So thank you for that, and I hope that she finds healing in being able to share her story like that. But I wanted to, as an outsider looking in, objectively, because it didn't happen to me, it happened to her, so she shared her story from a personal perspective. And for me, as an outsider looking in, I wanted to be able to just break down what are some of the lessons that we as women of her age, older women, younger women, that are struggling with similar situations in relationships. Because one of the things she mentioned was she was surprised at how many women inboxed her and they were saying they can relate. So I wanted to just be able to break down 10 lessons that we can learn from somebody sharing this, so that we don't make similar mistakes, primarily for the younger girls. Because as you get older, we've been there. We know how it is to overlove and to overgive and to shrink yourself in hopes of making a relationship work. And as you get older, for us that have gone through it, you realize that number one, you must never love a man more than you love yourself. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage, first of all. And secondly, if a man does not have the capacity to contain you, it's not your responsibility to shrink or make yourself smaller in order to accommodate his minuscule ability to comprehend and contain a woman of your magnitude. So the first thing that I wanted to highlight and to bring out in Erka's experience was this part.
You blew the fool over here. Agutuanga, never beg a man to love you. Never let a man tell you more than once that he doesn't want you. And once you show a man that you will stay through everything or forgive everything, he starts to believe that he can put you through anything, or whatever the saying goes. But hey, at my age of 24, I never imagined myself going through a relationship that broke my self-worth, made me shrink myself, made me question my self-worth, made me question a lot of things about myself. But hey, here it goes. As people who love without limits. Anyways, I was in a relationship with a man whom I loved so much. I swear there was nothing this man could do that would actually make me hate him. Regardless of what it is he did, I always chose to see the good in him. Say whatever, but I don't believe in walking away from somebody you love. I'm the type of person that stays, and I will stay until I can't anymore. And cheating is not entirely a deal breaker for me, you understand? So, this man, one day I went through his phone, found out that he's busy. I forgave, I stayed. Again, one day I found him in his house with a woman. Instead of being apologetic, it became a whole thing of nothing happened. I can call who. She just came to my house, and I'm like, why is another woman in your house? Why are you with another woman even though nothing happened? Anyways, long story short, that day he took me to work in the morning. I'm at work having mental breakdowns. I'm crying. I'm having anxiety attacks. Yo, I swear the pharmacy next to my workplace that day, those anxiety pills. At some point they were even like, just go home because I can't give you any more. I was like, okay, cool.
So when she mentioned or brought forward that she had no problem with him cheating, in a sense that cheating was not a deal breaker for her, that was probably the first mistake that she made in that relationship. The minute that you make a man aware that cheating is not a deal breaker, you're essentially giving him permission to cheat. You're telling him it's okay, you can cheat, and I'll be okay with that. Then you're saying you have the permission to disrespect me, you have the permission to do whatever that it is that you want to my body, to my mind, and to my emotions, and I will still not leave. You're essentially telling him that you don't value yourself enough to expect him to be exclusive, to be monogamous, and to respect you. And usually a man will take that based on face value. So if you don't respect yourself enough, then he has no need to respect you. If you don't value yourself, he has no need to value you. Even if it's true and cheating is not a deal breaker for you, never let him know that. If a man is in a relationship with you and you know that this man does not have the capacity to stay faithful, he should be in constant fear that if you catch him, you will leave him. Never make a man comfortable with being promiscuous in a relationship. Secondly, you're allowing this man to disrespect you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. One of the things that she mentioned, which was that
we were there and then I was ordering food and then a message came in that caught my attention. A lady is claiming that she thinks she might be pregnant. I looked at him while he was there playing pool. I read the conversation. I went out. I saw other women being told, I miss you, I'll make time for you. This one is being called baby. This one is being called what. I was like, I played it cool that night. And then I actually realized that me being understanding is you actually taking advantage of that. You understand? Yeah, he apologized, whatnot. But I laughed at this person. I stayed, I forgave.
She caught a woman in his messages saying that she might be pregnant. Means that he was having unprotected sex with other women. And she said she was surprised to find condoms in his house because they were not using protection.
Yeah, until one day I was cleaning his room and I found a pack of condoms. And I'm like, okay, we don't use condoms, so why do you have condoms? You understand? At the end of the night, it became a whole argument.
So basically what you're saying to a man who cheats on you unprotected and you take him back is a saying that whatever diseases he goes and collects outside, he can bring to you and he can bring into your body. And that is one of the most dangerous things as a woman that you can accept and allow yourself to, because the amount of sickness that is out there, you cannot imagine. Not only are you disrespecting yourself emotionally and psychologically, but physically. He brings some disease to you. The relationship doesn't work out. A few years down the line, you are still dealing with this physical ailment that was brought up to you. Sometimes as women, we don't consider the effects that this has on our body. And one day you might meet someone that you want to start a relationship with, start a marriage, start a family with, and you now have to bring children into the world. And STDs can have detrimental effects to pregnancy in women. Some stillborns, miscarriages, are caused by STDs that are still living within the body of a woman that might be pregnant. And it could be that that is something that as a woman you caught from a previous partner, but now you're battling to get pregnant, or you're battling to carry to full term, or you might experience a miscarriage or a stillborn, and STDs can have an effect and an implication on that, and sometimes it's not even picked up. So not only are you putting your own life and health at risk, but you're putting the health and the lives at risk of your unborn children that you might one day have with a partner who is actually able and ready to commit to you. Then another thing is the thing that we neglect, the spirits that you are picking up. People have to realize that sexual intimacy is a spiritual thing. And the more people that your partner sleeps with, the more spirits that person brings back unto you. Because intimacy, it's an exchange. It's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of spirits. That's why sometimes you'll find, and I'm not going to spiritualize this, because if I go into the spiritual direction of it, it's a whole different topic. It's a whole can of worms. But just from face value perspective, have you ever been in a situation where you got into a relationship with someone and you just somehow started resembling one another? People say you look alike, or you've got a resemblance, or you start acting the same way, you start talking the same way as that person, you start referencing each other, and sometimes face value, it's looked at like, oh, it's cute, because we spend so much time together, but in reality it's because there's a spirit exchange. You're now sharing the same spirit, for the same reason why when you're in a relationship with someone who is having multiple partners, sometimes you will have a defragmented relation in that relationship, or you will have a defragmented way of relating to one another. That's why sometimes women will find themselves being erratic, they are being unreasonable, they're being overly emotional, they're acting in a way that they never used to act before. And sometimes that is caused on by the multiple spirits that you are harboring, because you are receiving that from the person that you are in relation with, because your partner is having relation with other partners. And it can go both ways for men and women, but it's more visible in women, because naturally when you are intimate, women receive and men deposit. So a lot of the times the man is depositing in you whatever it is that he's collecting outside. So if you are allowing your man to be in a relationship with you and to go and do what he's doing outside, and he brings that back to you, you are bringing a huge spiritual defragmentation to your own spirit, to your own soul, to your own mind. And that's why sometimes women are in relationships and they're like, he's treating me so bad, he's doing me this, he's doing me that, but I cannot leave, I love him too much. It's not that. Your spirit is defragmented to a point where you cannot even comprehend properly anymore. And that was one of the first lessons that I wanted to pinpoint in Erica's story. And for people that are going to come in the comment section and say, da 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 da, I have spoken to Erica, I sent her a DM and I asked her if I can share my perspective on her story, and she was more than happy to grant me permission to do that. So stay tuned for the next 10 days, guys. I'm going to be breaking down the 10 lessons that we can learn from Erica's story, and I really hope that the young women out there are going to really look at this as a learning curve, and in a sense as a case study, because it's very easy to decide, I want to learn my own way, I want to learn the hard way. Sometimes when you want to learn the hard way and not learn through other people's mistakes, you might find yourself making irreversible mistakes that you can never take back. So stay tuned, guys, as we break down the lessons in Erica's story time.